is Hamid. Today I'm working on this LG front load washing machine. The customer's complaint is that they are getting LE error code, and I'll show you how to test the components here and how to fix this. Because the washer is on top of this pedestal, I need to take it down to get to the back of it, and then I can work on it from there. With the LE error code, before I replace any parts, I want to make sure my bearing is not broken, the spider is not broken, my tab is not loose, and then I can go through more diagnostic here. So what we can do, you hold your hand in front of the drum, put it inside of the drum and wiggle it back and forth. You want to make sure the drum is not loose. If the drum is loose, you know that your bearing is broken or the spider arm is broken. That way you don't have to go through more diagnostic. So the drum seems okay, it's not loose. Now we're going to spin it with our hand. It's spinning without making any kind of noise, no scratching noise, no grinding noise. The drum also spins okay. The next part we're going to do is press the spin speed and soil level and press power at the same time. And now we're going to press start. It sounds that the motor is turning from the back, but nothing is happening. So the drum should be spinning when I go through the diagnostic on a spin cycle. When the washer goes to the second high speed, high spin, it should be running smoothly, but instead it makes a lot of noise. That noise is not normal. We're gonna have to check our RPM sensor here and the motor at the back of the washer and see what's causing this issue. So I had to unplug the unit, and now we're going to work on at the back of this washing machine. We got 4 Phillips screws. You put your hand under the back panel, pull it up, and then push it down so it comes out. Here's our motor. Again, make sure it's unplugged to be safe. I'm spinning the motor. I do not feel any noise, or the motor is also not loose. So we have to open the motor here from the back. In order to pull the motor out, we need to take this bolt out from the back that holds the spoiler in place. And this bolt is 17mm socket, or 17mm wrench that you can use. I got this number 17 here. There's two ways you can open it. One, with the impact of your hand you can open this, and other, you can also use a hammer to tap it, so that way you can open it. And I'll try the impact from my hand. This bolt is out. You pull this stator out. You also want to make sure that these grooves inside of this area is not worn out, because if it's worn out you will also have the LE error code. So double check to make sure it's not smooth. You don't want it to smooth, so it's also in good shape. Now okay, so if I put my hand here, it's kind of warm. It shouldn't be that warm. I run this washer on diagnostic for a couple of seconds, and it's very hot. I would say it's more hotter than normal. That also indicates that the RPM sensor is bad on this unit, but I don't know yet. We're gonna test it. We have to take all of these bolts out. It's number 10mm socket you can use in that. I got number 10. You can always keep it in down position, or there's one Phillips screws. You may want to take that off or disconnect your RPM sensor here. That's the main part that we want to focus. You can disconnect it here too, or you can always take this one screw off, and then you will have extra wire. You disconnect this screw. It's gonna make your job way easier, but you can always go in an easy way. So now we are gonna test this RPM sensor. You can disconnect it by just pulling it out. You pull it out like that, and you can always push it back in, snap it back in. So what we are going to do, we will test this RPM sensor. You will count the pins from this side. Between pin 1, which is this one, and between pin number 4. It should give us about 10,000 ohms. 1, 2, 3, 4. You count it from this smaller size. Pin number 1 and pin number 4. This pin. I'm getting 44,000 ohms on pin 1 and 4. So this is a bad reading. We need to replace this RPM sensor. I have this RPM sensor. I have it with me. And also, in order to find your RPM sensor part number, it's written inside there. 6501, K as a kilo, W as a whiskey, 2001, A as an alpha. This is the RPM sensor. And here's the new one. It comes with the B at the end. It doesn't matter. The B is just it subs to a different number, and instead of A you got B, but you want to make sure the rest of the numbers are the same. And I will also test this RPM sensor. pin number 1 and pin 4. 9,000 ohms, 9.43 kilo ohms. It's acceptable, it's perfectly fine. And you can snap it back in here. There's also a small clip that the RPM sensor goes into it. You want to make sure you snap it in there and then push it back in. You connect this one. You can reinstall your stator. The RPM sensor, it's easier to reconnect it back in once it's installed in place. And you go in zigzag position to retighten these screws back in. You can put the washer back in.
Okay, how is she? Good?
Good, yeah.
Awesome. Good. A little bit more.
Yeah, so it's good. So the washing machine is working perfectly fine right now. As you can see, it's running. Before you leave the customer house, you want to make sure, very important, check your the hoses, the water line, the cold and hot water, to make sure they are not leaking, because every time you move your washing machine from one spot to another spot, there is a chance that it would cause leakage. You may find out after a couple of days or the customer. So to be on the safe side, always check your hoses. Retie them on this washer. The hoses were a little bit loose, so I had to retie both of them, hot and cold. The drain hoses installed properly. Run the washing machine for about, if you don't have enough time, 5 minutes is fine. Make sure it's filling, it's agitating, it's spinning, draining, and then you're good to go. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. Don't forget to like, share my videos with others, and you can also follow me on Hamid Appliances Repair on Facebook, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Having so much fun.
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah. Hey, look at.
Come here. Come here. Hi. This puppy must weigh like 2 pounds. It's so small.
Oh yeah. Like we just took her to the vet last week for her last set of shots, and he said he actually only gave her a half dose because she's so small.
Oh, okay.
Of the vaccine, so you have to take her back. But
Hi, Betty. Hi.
Yeah, she was just
Look
under,
at you.
3 pounds. So I think it was
Hi.
like 1.7 something.
So adorable.
It's funny because we had one of our cats too,
Yeah.
and the cat was 16 pounds.
Oh, 16 pounds.
Five times bigger than her, right? So. But yeah, she's a cute little thing. Once we get her trained, she'll be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She'll be a good little pet.